On a normal day, a website disappears and nobody outside a small corner of the internet notices. But in July 2017, a disappearance triggered a stampede. A massive dark web marketplace went dark, with no warning, and within hours, tens of thousands of people scattered in panic, searching for a new place to land. Then the story turned stranger. Authorities announced a global takedown. The alleged founder was arrested in Bangkok. Days later, he was dead in custody. And years after that, the market's name surfaced again, revived by someone claiming to be a former insider, while experts and users argued over the same paranoid question. Was the resurrection real? Or was it a trap wearing the skin of a legend? Welcome to Last Seen Online. This is an audio-first storytelling channel exploring true stories from the dark corners of the internet, where digital footprints don't always match human explanations, and mysteries rarely resolve cleanly. Tonight's episode follows AlphaBay, a dark web marketplace that vanished, left unanswered questions behind, and later returned as a ghost story with a heartbeat. Let's follow the trail. AlphaBay launched around 2014 and quickly grew into one of the largest dark web marketplaces ever recorded, offering everything from illegal drugs and counterfeit documents to hacked accounts and malware services. It didn't just function as a black market, it mimicked legitimate platforms with vendor ratings, customer feedback, escrow systems, and professional design. What made AlphaBay powerful wasn't only its size, but the illusion of permanence it created. Users trusted that it would still exist tomorrow. Vendors trusted they would get paid, and that trust became its foundation. Behind the scenes, law enforcement agencies were already mapping server locations, monitoring traffic patterns, and coordinating across international borders. The myth of perfect anonymity was quietly unraveling, while AlphaBay continued operating as if nothing could touch it. By mid-2017, authorities were ready. Operation Bayonet brought together agencies from the United States, Thailand, the Netherlands, Lithuania, Canada, the United Kingdom, France, and Europol. Servers were seized, infrastructure was mapped. Then AlphaBay went offline without warning. Panic spread immediately through the dark web. Buyers lost access to funds. Vendors lost storefronts. Thousands rushed to find alternatives. That chaos became part of the strategy. As AlphaBay users fled, many landed on another major marketplace called Hansa, unaware that Dutch authorities had secretly taken control of it. Instead of shutting Hansa down immediately, police ran it quietly, monitoring transactions and user behavior while AlphaBay refugees poured in. It was one of the most audacious moves in dark web history. Rather than chasing criminals, authorities waited for them to arrive. While markets collapsed and users scattered, the human story shifted to Thailand. Alexandra Kazis, the alleged founder of AlphaBay, was arrested in Bangkok at the request of U.S. authorities. Days later, before extradition or trial, Thai officials reported that Kazis had been found dead in his jail cell, with police suspecting suicide. The timing left a permanent hole in the story. There would be no courtroom testimony, no full public accounting, no cross-examination of evidence. For investigators, this meant losing a central figure. For the public, it meant living with unanswered questions. What did he know? What connections existed? And what would have emerged if the legal process had continued? The market vanished, the alleged operator vanished, and the truth became fragmented across press releases and long-form reporting. Behind the scenes, investigators focused on a critical goal: catching AlphaBay's systems in a live operational state. Wired later reported on the importance of capturing servers while the suspected administrator was logged in, a moment that can definitively link digital activity to human action. This wasn't about flashy hacking scenes. It was about timing, coordination, and patience. Authorities carefully orchestrated seizures and arrests to maximize access to live data. Meanwhile, Hansa continued operating under police control, quietly collecting information on users who believed they were escaping danger. This phase of Operation Bayonet redefined how law enforcement approached dark web markets, shifting from simple takedowns to psychological containment. When the operation became public, authorities celebrated a major victory. But inside the dark web ecosystem, something more lasting occurred. Trust collapsed. Users realized that a major marketplace could vanish overnight, and that the place they fled to might already be compromised. Reputation systems suddenly felt meaningless. Vendors questioned platforms. Buyers questioned vendors. Every new market became suspect. The Hansa sting changed behavior across the underground economy. Paranoia replaced confidence. Exit scams increased. Smaller markets struggled to attract users. AlphaBay didn't just disappear, it rewired the psychology of online anonymity. In 2021, AlphaBay's name resurfaced. A figure calling himself DeSnake claimed to be a former administrator and security expert from the original AlphaBay and announced its resurrection. In interviews with Wired, DeSnake provided cryptographic proof that researchers said aligned with old AlphaBay credentials. He framed the comeback as revenge and legacy, promising stronger security and decentralization. But skepticism was immediate. Was this truly AlphaBay reborn, or a carefully designed trap? Some saw continuity. Others saw bait. The revival reopened old wounds and forced the community to confront a haunting possibility: that a market could die, come back, and still never be trusted. To understand AlphaBay's enduring power, you have to understand how trust works in anonymous systems. Dark web markets don't sell safety, they sell belief. Users rely on feedback scores, escrow systems, and reputation because identity doesn't exist in traditional ways. After Operation Bayonet, belief fractured. Every new platform had to fight suspicion. AlphaBay's return tested whether nostalgia could overcome fear. Meanwhile, darknet markets continued their cycle of rise and collapse. Dream market, Wall Street market, evolution. Some vanished quietly. Others exited with user funds. Each failure reinforced the same lesson: anonymity doesn't protect against disappearance. Here's what we can confirm. AlphaBay rose to become the largest dark web marketplace of its time. In July 2017, Operation Bayonet shut it down through international coordination. Its alleged founder was arrested and then found dead in custody days later, leaving unresolved questions behind. Years afterward, someone claiming insider status revived the AlphaBay name, dividing opinion and reigniting distrust. That's the documented timeline. But the deeper mystery isn't just what happened, it's why AlphaBay still matters. Because it exposed how fragile digital trust really is, how quickly systems collapse, and how easily belief can be resurrected. AlphaBay didn't just die once. It died, returned, and forced everyone watching to ask the same question again. When something comes back from the dark web, are you seeing a rebirth or a carefully staged illusion? Thanks for listening to Last Seen Online. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a like and subscribe for more true stories from the dark corners of the internet.